we want to get to. It's been a story it's been a big deal in North Carolina. Where I guess I should say the discussion has been going on ongoing for years. I've been in North Carolina, covering North Carolina on and off for the past decade, and this conversation continues to come up, and that is legalizing marijuana. So North Carolina lawmakers are taking another stab of trying to legalize marijuana. Now, on Monday, Representative Jordan Lopez, who is a Democrat from Charlotte, covers parts of Mecklenburg County, introduced House Bill 413, officially titled the Marijuana Legalization and Reinvestment Act. If passed, it would legalize the sale and use of marijuana for those 21 and older. We want to get to WCNC Charlotte's Julie Kay, who is live for us. And Noda, I believe, Julie, thank you, one, for joining us. And two, as I mentioned, this is a story. This is a topic that's been a hot topic in North Carolina for several years. You got a chance to speak to Representative Lopez. What did he have to say?
Yeah, Nick, this has been a big deal for a long time, especially because this isn't the first time this happened by any means that they've filed a bill. And Lopez did talk about that. We spoke just a few hours ago, and he said he's glad this conversation is being had again. He is new. He wanted to lead that charge as soon as he could with his other House Democrats, especially other young Democrats. But really, the message here is that we don't think it's going to pass as is. Like I said, this is not the first time something like this has been introduced. Last session, it got pretty close, but towards the end, it got taken out of the running. So we're not super confident. The representatives aren't super confident, and I'm here at Crowntown Cannabis. They aren't super confident either that this is going to pass as is, but they are as well glad that conversation is being had. Now, it is similar to the one that was almost passed last year in its restrictions. So, for example, you still wouldn't be able to consume weed in public, or you wouldn't grow it in public. You definitely couldn't do it while you drive. The biggest difference is the amount of tax. So this tax is a little bit bigger. It would be about a 30% sales tax, which is very significant. Now, that's why they call it Reinvestment Act, because that would go back into helping communities that have been disproportionately impacted by the concerns from weed, from criminalization of weed. So it would go to housing assistance, reentry programs after people get out of jail for these crimes. It would help with expungements. But the significant portion of that tax, the fact that it's so big, does concern the CEO of Crowntown Cannabis here, that it would take away from their business, Nick.
Now, Julia, I do want to ask, you said Representative Lopez skeptical on this even making any headway. So why introduce this bill? Did he speak about that?
Well, it's really about the conversation. Yeah, I asked the same question, and I asked too, why has it taken North Carolina so long? I mean, I talked about how other red states, you look at Missouri, they've already passed this. Meanwhile, North Carolina doesn't even really have medical. And of course, you do have hemp products that are legal here. Like I said, what they sell at Crowntown Cannabis is completely legal in North Carolina, just at a lower percentage. But the fact that he introduced this bill is really about the conversation. It specifically talks about how the criminalization of marijuana has disproportionately targeted Black and brown communities, where he represents in Mecklenburg County, especially parts of East Charlotte. He says that's a large part of their population that has been disproportionately impacted. So it's really about having that conversation and getting the word out there. Eventually, he is hopeful that something will pass, but he doesn't feel confident in this particular session. But he doesn't believe it's worth it to give it up just because it might not happen.
And Julie, you are in a cannabis shop in Noda right now. You got a chance to talk to the owner there. Did they have any thoughts on this legislation?
Yeah, they would like to see something like this pass here. This is one of their many, many stores in the Charlotte area. Crowntown Cannabis was one of the first here in Charlotte. And so they've had, at this point, hundreds of thousands of customers that say this is a really big deal for them. He talks about, not just the impact of all the employees that he has that would like to see this be legalized. Obviously, it'd be good for his business, but for the customers who say this really positively impacts their lives, people with PTSD, people who take other medications medications, and this is one of the only things that help with their pain management. So he's definitely in support of getting something like this passed, but the large percentage of that tax is going to be a big deal for him. However, he did say, the CEO of Crown Town Cannabis, that he is glad that conversation about expungement and supporting those communities that have been disproportionately affected is being had. So some good things in the bill, some concerns, and I think that's kind of representative of what we're seeing across the board here.
Julie, thank you. I know you're hard at work today over there in NOTA, live, I believe, at 4, 5, and 6. But thank you, Julie, for that information. Again, this has been a big topic here in North Carolina when we talk about legalizing marijuana, a story that I've covered over the years in working here in North Carolina.